So chronologically, let's start with a temporary incapacity. Temporary incapacity could be something like a stroke, where someone loses capacity to be in charge of their finances, but all signs point to a full recovery. It could be a surgery where someone's now in rehab for a while. Maybe they're going to spend a few months recovering. Maybe there were complications that made it worse than they thought, and they're just not able to do their finances like normal. Just anything that really prevents you from being in charge like you normally are of your money. But as far as everyone can tell, it's temporary. How do we address this? There's two ways it's addressed, and it kind of depends if you're married or single. For a married couple, they are typically both serving as trustees. So if one spouse has a temporary incapacity, the other spouse can usually step in and pick up the slack and pay the bills. Now, what's interesting about that, and this is not a legal thing, it's more of a practical thing, it's very common, at least from what I've seen with clients, where one spouse does all the finances and the other does none. Or they just spend the money, they just don't keep track of it. And there's oftentimes I'll be talking to a spouse and they'll say, hey, my spouse is incapacitated right now, but I don't know what's going on. I've never paid the bills. My spouse handled all of that. Legally, I've got the authority. They know they're a trustee, but they don't even necessarily know what banks they bank with. There's just this kind of division of authority or responsibility. So one thing that I'll share with you, just if that is you, if you're the kind that doesn't like to get involved, at least have an idea of where to find stuff, know where things are, what bills typically get paid, what's on autopay, what's not.